What's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys have all had a great weekend so far. In this video, we are going to talk about the Joker and some of the news that it's been making since we last made a video. And we're also going to do our reading the comments. As you guys all know, on Sundays, we read the comments here on this channel. And for this particular video, I'm going to go ahead and reference my last video from Friday about The Flash and what director Andy Muschietti should adapt for his first movie. You guys had some things to say, so I'm going to go ahead and read them, and let's talk about them. But first, let's go ahead and move on to our first topic, which has to do with Joker. Now, Joker has now won Venice Film Festival, essentially being awarded the Golden Lion Prize at the Venice Film Festival. This is kind of one of the most prestigious prizes that you can get in any film festival and in the film industry as a whole, and that is an incredible achievement. So I'm over here, like a ton of places have been reporting on this, but I'm over here looking at Heroic Hollywood. It has won the Golden Lion Prize, and there's videos floating around on social media and things like that. That's where I first saw it. I think I saw director Todd Phillips actually post about it. It showed in a video of him and Joaquin Phoenix accepting the award, and I am super stoked for this movie as a whole. As you guys all know, this has been my most anticipated movie this year, and ever since it premiered at the Venice Film Festival, we've heard nothing but, or for the most part, glowing reviews about this movie. The word masterpiece has been floated a ton of times. It got an 8-minute standing ovation from a crowd, which is kind of incredible because I can't even think about any point in my life where I clapped for 8 minutes. That's absolutely nuts. But yes, this movie's garnering a ton of praise. And I did cover a video in which we talked a little bit about the negative reviews and responded to the negative reviews. And I just want to address some of you guys in the comments who kind of wanted to attack me because I was covering it. It's not that I think this movie is going to be bad in any sense, or that I can't or I support any of the negative reviews. I just wanted to talk about it because it's like, you always got to check out the other side of things. But for the most part, I anticipate I'm gonna absolutely love this movie. I almost knew it from that first trailer. You guys can look back on our channel and check out my trailer reactions. I absolutely loved all of the trailers, and I love what they are trying to do with this movie. We know Todd Phillips has been pitching this movie for years at Warner Brothers, ever since he saw a billboard of the Suicide Squad and he saw the Joker on that screen. He had the idea to make some sort of DC Black label, and it took him a few years of convincing Warner Brothers for him to finally get this movie made, and it looks like it is absolutely paying off. As you guys know, Todd Phillips, maybe you guys don't know, but Todd Phillips wanted to create something, and I'm paraphrasing here, create something that other studios can't do. Rip all that big budget stuff away and give us a small budget and give us room to play with these characters and just create something great and tell a great story. That was a huge paraphrase right there, but that's essentially what he wanted to do, is do something that other film studios cannot do with their superheroes, namely Marvel, right? And do this character study and make it R-rated and let the director tell a great story. And it, again, looks like it's paying off, and I'm super stoked to hear about this. Just to let you guys know, other notable winners of this film, this Golden Lion Award. So Joker is the winner this year, but other movies that you may have seen include Roma last year, 2018, and that was a Netflix movie that I am kind of embarrassed I haven't seen. The Shape of Water in 2017, and of course that one was making a ton of noise. Great movie. There's The Woman Who Left in 2016. So some of these other movies you guys may not have seen, but one other movie that you may notice in 2008, The Wrestler, won this same award, and that movie was so tragic and I forget the actor's name, but it was such a beautiful movie. I can't remember it that much, but it made me incredibly sad when watching it. But it was such a well done movie. So those are just other some other movies that have won this award, and it was introduced back in like 1949, this award. So it goes back, and Joker is just the latest to continue the legacy of this this film franchise. I'm sorry, not film franchise, this Film Festival. So I'm excited, and that got me thinking back at a story that I'm not sure we covered yet, which has to do with the Joker box office predictions. Now, as you can see with all of the glowing reviews, the box office projections for this movie have gone up, surpassing expectations. So I'm looking at an article right now, CBR.com, Joker box office projections amongst the highest for R-rated films. It says, I'm just going to go ahead down to the article and say what they're projected. It says, Box Office Pro pegs Joker's domestic opening as between 85 million and 105 million, with 103 million being the predicted number at this time. The movie is forecasted to make 210 million domestically over the course of its run. Initial projections from the website put the film between 60 and 90 million domestically. That's against a reportedly low budget of 55 million, which would make the film a smash success from its first week if the upper end holds true. As these long-range projections, the numbers will likely change and get more precise as the release date draws near. So there you have it. 60 to 90 million was what was projected first, but since it is debuted at the Venice Film Festival, that has shot up to the predicted number of 103, which is incredible. It joins the likes of Deadpool, which made the original Deadpool, which made 132 million. 2018's Deadpool 2, 125 million. 2017's It with 123 million. And if this holds true, it's actually going to beat 2018's Justice League at 93.8 million. And it's going to match Wonder Woman's 103 million. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me that this Joker movie could actually beat Justice League potentially. It's absolutely nuts, and it just goes to show the failure on Warner Brothers' part in that end. But again, Warner Brothers seems to be doing a lot better in regards to the decisions they've been making lately. And I know when this movie was announced at first, it's something that a lot of us didn't agree with. Still, some of us in the comments, not me in particular, but some of you guys in the comments, I see still are very skeptical of this movie because it's not really translating the source material faithfully. I happen to be one of those people who don't really care about it being an incredible faithful adaptation. We know what the intention was when they made this movie. Todd Phillips has said it in numerous interviews, so I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this movie, even if it doesn't necessarily take from one particular origin or story of the Joker. But I'm excited for this movie to be a smash success. It's going to hopefully give Warner Brothers the balls to give filmmakers a more creative freedom and potentially explore new avenues for these characters. And now I do know that there's potential problems with the success of this kind of one-off movie. Maybe it takes away the focus on a shared universe, and I know that's something I really still want. So there's ups and downs, but I think for the most part there's mostly positives coming out of this. So let me know what you guys think about these two stories: Joker winning Venice, as well as the box office projections being higher than expected. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And with that being said, we're going to move on to our reading the comments section for this Sunday. And the reading the comments come from my last video. In my last video, I asked you guys what storyline from the Flash mythos should be adapted by Andy Muschietti for the first solo Flash movie ever on the big screen. And the reason why I asked that is because I recently saw It Chapter 2 and I thought it was incredible. It's got mixed reviews, but I absolutely loved it. I don't know if it's because I loved this movie, this franchise, this story since I was a kid, and I thought they adapted it incredibly well. And Andy Muschietti, who's now the latest director in The Flash, I wanted to see what you guys thought should be the first story directed. Now let's go ahead and read our first comment, and it comes from Official Filmillion says, I think Flash movie should adapt The Flash Year One. And that's one of the suggestions I put out there, especially because Joshua Williamson, the writer of The Flash right now, just recently did a Year One type of storyline, just giving us a fresh and new look at the Flash's origin. Gave us an angle that we didn't yet see before, so I thought that was cool, and I thought that might be a good potential starting point. The only problem is that storyline doesn't introduce some of the most iconic villains, namely Reverse Flash. And Reverse Flash, I think, is like, you got to start off one of these movies with a strong villain. At least that's what I think. So thanks for commenting in. Let's move on to the next one. Nico Burton says, I like your shirt. I'm a DC fan too, so I'm looking for one. So Nico, if you're looking for that Justice League shirt that I was wearing, that was like a Jim Lee New 52 DC shirt. I bought it. I bought that thing on thinkgeek.com, but I think they like went out of business or something. So hopefully you can find it on eBay or something. Just type in Justice League Jim Lee t-shirt. Hopefully you can find it. It fits perfect. It's one of my favorite shirts. Aiden, I'm gonna say this wrong, man. I'm sorry about that. Aiden Chali, I'm saying that incredibly wrong. I apologize for botching your name. But he says, as an Argentinian like me, I'm very proud for Andy Muschietti working for WB directing The Flash. Come on, Andy. And again, Andy Muschietti, definitely an Argentinian, and he's a very, very talented guy. I mentioned in my previous video that he doesn't even have a huge film resume. He has Mama in 2008, and then It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2, and basically all of that work in combo makes me excited. He's a horror director, and we've got success from horror background directors from horror backgrounds before, so I'm excited for him to take it on. Yeah. Joey Henderson says, I think they should pull from some of the New 52 and Rebirth storylines. Even the first 2 seasons of the CW Flash show they could pull from. So yeah, I tend to think that they're going to go probably pull from the New 52, but as far as the Rebirth storylines, I thought the year 1 is something they could pull from, but the CW Flash TV show, I remember liking the first couple seasons, though they were kind of cheesy, but I can't remember what storylines they did in the first 2 seasons of The Flash. I thought they remained pretty focused on Reverse Flash as the main villain. Yeah, I think that could be cool for sure. Again, I think it needs to be kept simple, relatively simple. Now, Mohammed Hatum, apologize if I'm saying your name wrong, Mohammed. He says, I want to see the Reverse Flash origins on the big screen. Is that too much to ask? And yeah, the Reverse Flash, of course, the most iconic villain, arguably the most iconic villain for the Flash. I would love to see his origins on the big screen. And when you have a compelling villain, you automatically have a more compelling superhero movie. And in some cases, especially in DC's cases, sometimes the villain outshines the hero. Just go ahead and look at The Dark Knight. For example, the Joker arguably stole that movie from Heath Ledger's Joker stole that movie spotlight from Christian Bale's Batman. But yeah, as far as potentially doing a one-off movie for him himself, I'm not sure if that's the way they will go. We know that they're doing that with Black Adam and Shazam, but that's because I think mostly The Rock is producing the movie and he's such a big star. Yeah, I hope we see it eventually. The Omega Effect. I really want to see a Green Lantern and Flash movie in the future, and would love Jay Garrick Flash to appear in the future, which opens the door to the multiverse. Yeah. Of course, Green Lantern and Flash, Green Lantern movie, that goes without saying. They need to do another Green Lantern movie, and hopefully that's still in the pipeline for DC, and I think it is. I think they're just really spacing it out, giving some time to giving some cushion away from Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. But as far as Jay Garrick appearing, that would be so cool to finally see the whole Flash family in one movie. I think it should focus probably on one storyline. I do want to see the whole father relationship. I forget the actor's name. He played Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen and was in Justice League. But I would like to see him as the father figure, mostly in the solo Flash movie, but who knows how they could do it. I do think that they should explore the idea of a multiverse early on so that they can branch out into different stories. You're right. I'd love to see all of this, really. Christopher says, I think someone needs to teach the actor how to act like he's running and not speed skating. It was truly painful to watch the Justice League movie because the Flash looked ridiculous when he was running. Get into character. Please go watch a track meet. Go watch the Flash on CW. At least he knows how to look like he's a sprinter. And yeah, I think you're commenting on something that most people who watch Justice League were really a little off-put. They were off-put by it. The Flash was running. Ezra Miller's running style, I think he was trying to do something different. I don't think it quite worked, and I think hopefully in most of the scenes, and hopefully they can change that in the future. yeah, that was totally wrong, and I cannot defend that in any sort of way because that's not how you run. You're right. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. Mega Wubba says, "Hey Rob and Darren, what are your thoughts on a standalone Lex Luthor and Deathstroke movie in the DC Black Label?" Yeah, I've never heard anything about a standalone Lex Luthor movie. I don't think I need to see it personally. Lex Luthor is such a complicated character, and I think I would love to see him in a Man of Steel movie in the future. I don't know if they're going to go back to that character, or never mind. You're talking about DC Black Label. So if we were to do a DC Black Label movie, I think you can tell a story from that angle. But more so, I think you can tell a story from maybe Lois Lane's angle in a Black Label movie. I think you can do both. Actually, it'd be pretty interesting. But to be honest, I think there would be other characters that I'd rather see. Even Deathstroke, I think would be cool to see it as a Black Label movie. They can make it R-rated and super hardcore. But I'd rather see Deathstroke, to be honest, in a Titans movie. But we know we're just recently seeing him in the new TV show. So yeah, I'm not sure. I want to see the Joker and see how I like it first, and then I'd like to think about what they can do with other characters. But that was a good question. Corey McKee says, "Keep it simple and small. Don't try to set up the universe yet. We know the character like Flash. There will be some setup. That much is given, but keep it focused on Barry and the Reverse Flash and his father. I know we got the TV show for the first season, but this is the first full big budget Flash movie. It has so much potential. Keeping it small is best. Look at how focused Shazam and Aquaman and Wonder Woman worked for them. Flash needs the same treatment." And yeah, Corey, I just mentioned it in one of the previous comments. I totally agree with you. Keep it small. Keep it focused on kind of those three characters. The Flash, his father, the villain. Focus on fleshing out the villain. And Iris West too, that relationship and that dynamic. I think you can do that. Keep it small. I totally agree with you. Browning Bros Films says, let's start with the Rogues or Reverse Flash, but it needs to stay low key, not save the world. Let be more emotional, dramatic, with loads of humor and fun. That is Flash. You're totally right. I agree with you. And the Rogues is someone that one of the previous directors wanted to establish. Rick Famuyiwa. We know he was focusing on the Rogues, and yeah, I do agree with you. It needs to be kept a little smaller, not universe ending. That needs to be saved for later after it's earned. Ocean Ape says, "Guerrilla warfare would be fantastic. I don't think the Reverse Flash has to be introduced in the first movie." And yeah, you're right. I don't think the Reverse Flash has to be introduced in the first movie. I think that's just what a lot of fans want. But guerrilla warfare as I believe that's one of the newer storylines, right? From recently, it's kind of a big convoluted storyline that I think if I remember right, it has to do with the Rogues as well too. So that would be introducing a lot of movie, but again, it could just be adapted to focus on Gorilla Grodd. To be honest, I think as a first villain, I'd like to see it more grounded. So like it needs to be some sort of human character. Just only reason being is because audiences will see the Flash for the first time on big screen, and then they'll see a big ape. I don't know if it'll work for a lot of fans who are new to the character yet, but I do think it could work once people fall in love with the characters of the Flash, Iris West and his father, and the story. At least that's what I think. The Omega Effect. He says the villain needs to be a speedster and someone with good power such as Gorilla Grodd, Shade, Mr. Miracle. Captain Cold would make zero sense as Flash is way too powerful to be dealing with Ithaca, a weakling like him. Yeah, that's really funny. How is Captain Cold going to be adapted to make him... So Flash is the most powerful man in the world, and how is Captain Cold going to be adapted and make it a believable villain for Flash to be going up against? That would be something interesting to see. It would definitely need a creative director and a creative script. That would be crazy. But I do, yeah. So someone like Reverse Flash or Gorilla Grodd, who has all the power. I totally agree with that too. Again, I can be swayed either way. And a lot of you guys have been reading Flash longer than me. So yeah, who knows where it's going to go. What do you guys think of these comments? That's all for today, guys. Thank you for commenting in. Really appreciate it, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Make sure to do that. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.